The Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly is set to prosecute individuals engaged in open defecation and garbage dumping on piece of land between the Independence Square and the Asumdwe Park, which is the burial site of former President John Evans Atta-Mills. In an interview with Maxwell Agbagba, the municipal chief executive, Samuel James Nia-J-Taria, announced the assembly is collaborating with the Ghana Tourism Authority to revamp the area and put an end to this troubling practice. We'll hear from the MCE shortly, but first, Maxwell Agbagba's report for our Filth Exhibition series, which highlighted the alarming situation.
Freedom to openly defecate and dump their garbage. Authorities have found the perfect spot for a sit-down protest against waste management. Or perhaps it is the city authorities' way of saying, Happy Independence Day, enjoy the sights and smell. Right here, we confronted a man who had just finished defecating on this hallowed ground.
So why were you defecating here?
Through the defecating is that low land, they've been shitting there for a long time. And it was like Bola, the rubbish dump. Some people are shitting in this water. But me, I know that some are using it to wash. I will not do that.
Why were you defecating?
Defecating here, if you are defecating here, those who are living around here, they will not call it to be a crime because it's a low land. And very soon, you will see people who bring this in. It was even deep down. Because of the rubbish dam, you see that it is filling.
Do you think it's bad, especially because this place is very close to the Independence Square, and just right behind the walls of the Independence Square, you are defecating? You don't think it's wrong?
I know that it's wrong, but here like this, it's very wrong. I know that here too is not right. In case they are to do here, clear here, no, it's not right. Yeah. But the way it was bush, if you are here, no one will call it to be a crime. Okay. That's why we are shitting there. So that's why we are defecating there. But here, if you see a person shitting here, you know that that person is not normal.
For citizens who come here, it is to celebrate our nation's freedom. But what about our freedom from this mess? Perhaps city authorities want to give tourists and patrons a 360 independence celebration. After watching the display and exhibition of our culture and all that we stand for at the Black Star Square, you can come here for a part 2, this time a filth exhibition. Chata Winfred Annan is a resident.
Immediately when they removed the presidency from the Usu Castle to the Jubilee House, that is fine. Immediately they could have brought the national security people to the Usu Castle so that they can keep this place clean. But now, see, if you see the rubbish and where the people go to toilet here, it's very bad. There's nothing going on here. They said nobody should come to the beach, and people are going to private all over. If you turn and look at where the rubbish are, you see everything. So for me, it's terrible. Where the Independence Square is and where they go to private, I mean, it's not good. And so they're supposed to do something about it. And so if you look at the Asumdwe Park and where the people are going to the private, my man, the big LSS should do something about it.
Let's celebrate independence in every sense of the word, from freedom to cleanliness. Join us in our mission to turn this filth exhibition into a showcase of cleanliness and pride. Maxwell Agbagba for Joy News.
Well, the Korle Klottey Municipal Assembly has expressed concern about the ongoing situation. The municipal chief executive, Samuel James Nia-J-Taria, says the assembly has partnered with the Ghana Tourism Authority to enhance the development of the area. He also mentioned that the assembly will take legal action against individuals caught engaging in open defecation and garbage dumping on that land.
This has probably been going on over the years, but we are taking steps to make sure we bring that place to a level that the tourists that come there will appreciate even more. So there are a few initiatives that are in the pipeline. I'm sure when you got there, you saw that, for example, that's on Dream Park, there's some construction work going on. If you entered, you would, that is Ghana Tourism Authority and ourselves collaborating to bring the place up to a level There will be places of convenience for people to use if they happen to go there. And then Nationalism Park, I'm sure you see the place ordered off. Yeah. So we are gradually bringing those places up to international standards that tourists that come to this country can go to these places. But this open defecation thing is been there for some time, but it's not something that you people do it openly for you to see that something like this is going on. We often, it's after it has happened before we do come across, and then we have to take steps to claim the place. But with these new interventions, it will be difficult. The space will not be there. The place will be properly staffed, etc., to make sure the amenities and things we put at the place can be used. To promote this country. So I think the work there will be even much better. But like I said, with open defecation, often people hide and do their business, and then we find out later, and then we have to clean it up. So one, through the Gamma project, a lot of the houses in that community were supposed to take advantage of the scheme to build their own toilet facilities in their homes, right? A lot of them did, but not every household. So we are on the lookout.
Right, so our in-house data analyst, Kofi J, is here with me. He'll be sharing some statistics on open defecation with us. He would also share with us a list of the top 10 districts with open defecation in the country. Kofi, what has your research gathered?
Well, Aisha, but first, which district do you think will lead? Will it be from the north, from the south, or where? Maybe the middle belt?
Accra.
Greater Accra, you think will lead? All right, let me shock you. So first, let's start with the staggering statistics. So according to the UN, 18% of Ghana's 30.8 million population actually practice open defecation. If you do the math, we are looking at more than 5 million Ghanaians. And you can see on the touch screen there the total number of residential structures that we have as a country, 5.9, almost 6 million structures. 3.4% of them do not have toilet facilities. And if you look at the number of open defecation points across the length and breadth of the country, we are looking at close to 1.5 million scattered across Ghana. Let's look at the next graphic that will tell you the disaggregation or the categorization of this open defecation situation. So in the bushes and gutters, we are able to count, according to the Ghana Statistical Service own data from the 2021 population and housing census, we're able to count 1.38 million spots or points where you find bushes, open fields, and gutters where open defecation is practiced. At the beaches, more than 61,000 of them can be counted. Polythene bags, this is, practice that is possibly common among other people, 17,000, and chamber pots, close to 19,000, a total of close to 1.5 million open defecation points across the country. Now, we were speaking about the district that will lead. You actually predicted that a district in the Greater Accra region will lead, but surprisingly, it is not.
This should be in the northern region?
This is in the northern region. The Nanumba North Municipal is leading with more than 25,000 open defecation points.
Wow.
And Aisha, if you look at the list, there are 10. These are the top 10. And 8 of them are all in the northern region.
Wow.
Just one in the Greater Accra region, which is Pram Pram, and then go Pram Pram, and then K2 South in the Volta region. So it tells you how pronounced the situation is in the northern part of the country. So we decided to do more disaggregation, to look at the top 10, looking at the beaches, because it's important. Maxwell's report, actually cites that, absolutely. Yeah. So the Fantaman Municipal is number 1, 5.7K open defecation spots that we can actually count, followed by Jomoro. There's K2 South again, Shama, Gomoa West, and the last one being Ewutu Senya. These are the top 10. It means that if you stretch it... Most of them
are from the central region?
The central region, yes.
Okay.
You hardly find, I think Greater Accra is leading anyway. Adan West, Adan East, then there's TMA, which is Tema, over 2,000, open defecation points. Let's look at the last one, which has to do with the other, ranking. Let's look at the last slide. That tells you the open defecation points along, municipal.
This is the last
slide. This is the last one. But we put a spotlight on Korle Klottey. I always have to mess up.
Yes.
There are currently over 200 open defecation points. And if you look at it or you count it across the beaches, you can count more than 20 of them. And one of them is the one we highlighted in Maxwell's report. So across the length and breadth of the country, open defecation spots more than 1.4 million. And majority of them are concentrated in the northern region. In the top 10, you have about 8 districts coming from the northern part of the country. Aisha.
Very interesting revelation. Well, I've been joined by Engineer Solomon Noy. He is head of the Waste Management Department of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. I'm grateful for your time, Mr. Solomon Noy. Has this situation come to your notice?
Yes, thank you very much. Certainly, yes. As much as we are trying to promote household toilet facilities through the Gamma project under the World Bank, there are still some who are not taking advantage of this laudable program to be able to enroll. And certainly, the program, as we speak, is currently on suspension. It is rather focusing on the Ashanti region for now. But we also want to use the Assembly's bylaws to make sure that despite the Gamma project being put on hold, definitely they must comply and make sure every household has a toilet facility. But be it as it may, we exceeded the target for the Gamma project entirely. So that is to say that a lot of people took advantage, but just there are few ones that did not take advantage. So we hope to beef it up through law enforcement. Thank you.
I know that the AMA has a policy of, for some time now, you launched that policy where you were inspecting houses without toilet facilities. What's the status of that program?
Yeah, it's still ongoing. It's still ongoing, like I said. But very soon, we'll be having a sanitation court that will be commissioned in our jurisdiction. We used to have them, but with the split of AMA into other sub-metros that became autonomous and municipals on their own, we found out that the traveling distance from Accra to the coast at La and other areas was a bit of a disadvantage. And some of these operations, we need to have the cost right within our vicinity. So very soon, plans are far advanced so that I'm sure by next month or so, we should have our sanitation court, which will be situated at the old AMA head office behind or adjacent to the Bank of Ghana. And definitely all the cases will be rapidly prosecuted. But the current program is still ongoing to make sure that we inspect homes and houses to ensure that they have toilet facilities.
So let's look at generally dealing with filth in Accra. What's the plan?
Yes, so it's good that you situate the discussion in the right perspective. So if you wouldn't mind, I want to take you through some analysis. By the nature of Accra's topography, Accra is low-lying. If I say Accra, I'm talking about the AMA, Korle Klottey, Zablekuma, all those along the beaches. And by default, all the secondary and tertiary drains upstream. If I say secondary and tertiary, They are the drains that are connecting houses and other roofs, and they all empty into storm drains. And most of the storm drains use the Odo River and some other river bodies as their final outfall. And because they are low-lying, we are low-lying and somewhere below sea level, currently, in terms of our waste management practices, despite the combination of public-private partnerships we have and the logistics that has been put in place, it is currently inadequate to the extent that we are doing an average of about 70% waste collection every day within the entire city of Accra, spanning from Amasaman all the way down to AMA itself. So you find out that there is a staggering 30% of uncollected waste that is happening upstream on a daily basis. And if you care to know, on the average, the sanitation ministry has it, or if you can check data from their end, we are generating close to more than 5,000 metric tons of municipal solid waste every single day within the greater Accra metropolitan area. So 30% of this, if it's left uncollected as a result of inadequate infrastructure and logistics, it gives you an idea about the quantum of waste that will be collected into these storm drains that I'm talking about. And unfortunately, they all find their way through the Odo, to the Korle Lagoon, to the Lapa, and then all over into the sea. And that is how come we are overwhelmed by flow, no matter how hard we try. To make the situation worse, currently, you can't say we are metropolis, all right, but our wings have been clipped. It has been clipped to the sense that even though municipals have been carved out, the bulk of the waste, such as Agbogbloshie Market Enclave, Makola Market Enclave, Katamanto Market Enclave, these are major waste generation centers, and they are all left within the greater Accra. And unfortunately, we are faced with the issue of raking in revenue to be able to handle the situation. So if you ask me, this is the current perspective, and most often than not, we are also handicapped. Currently, through the local government ministry, by the national sanitation policy, we are supposed to be about 20% equipped. We are supposed to be having 20% capacity in-house as an assembly to be able to take care of some of these public spaces when it comes to waste management. But as we speak, we cannot even boast of 5% capacity. Thanks to the sanitation ministry, we've been able to get some equipment delivered to us, such as the refuse compaction trap 1, and then some other PPE, and we are expecting some more trucks.
So until you get the 20% equipment, we are going to remain this way?
Yeah, you find out that currently we are operating what we call the fee-based collection and franchise agreement, where we have outsourced waste collection and transportation to third-party companies such as the Zoom Lions, the Jacores, the J. Stanley Owusus, and what have you. Currently, we have about 5 of them operating within the AME. But like I'm saying, we have inadequate infrastructure, and as a result, inadequate logistics, which is the trust. But these public areas that I'm mentioning, such as the markets and the big lorry parks, we are supposed to take care of the management of that, because there is nobody you can hold responsible to pay for the services. And that is how come it must be rendered as a public good in order to up our game by increasing our waste collection services. But if we don't have the logistics to match up to that, that is where the problem is.
Well, this is a conversation that has begun, especially as we continue with our Filth Exhibition series. I'm grateful for your time, Mr. Solomon Noy. He is the head of waste management at the AMA.